interaction is not necessarily cultural the way that I view an ant colony. I don't think that ants are remotely cultural, even though they form these organized societies and they're not taught, they're not exposed to memes, which results in their behavior. They're behaving in the ways they do because, as far as I know, they're responding to certain types of scents at certain frequencies, and it's like needing to drink water. They say, I'm thirsty, and I'm going to take this action to fulfill that thirst. And I don't need to be taught that I'm thirsty. I just know it. And that's the way that ants operate, and that's how their societies emerge. They're not, they aren't instilled with this culture, and that feral, feral child, he's drinking water and climbing trees. If he weren't exposed to anyone else, he would have a desire for social interaction. That desire itself is not cultural, and if you were to, like apes in a jungle, the apes, they have these very underdeveloped cultures, and most of their interaction is based off feral values. So there's this small cultural aspect to their interaction, but it's mostly feral. Um, they're fulfilling their feral values. They don't need to be taught that they want to interact, they just do. The way someone just drinks, and culture can satisfy feral values. That's where it gets a little bit confusing, because making this video, it can be perceived as me making this video can be perceived as trying to fulfill a desire for social interaction, but the culture doesn't allow it to happen. It subverts the process by which I would naturally fulfill that value. This Because I've been exposed to this culture, I fulfill that value by making this video, and this video is just a surrogate. It's not the social interaction itself. If we were in a jungle somewhere, I wouldn't be making this video to you, and I wouldn't have the desire to make this video to you. I would stroke your hair and longfully gaze into your eyes, or whatever it is that feral humans do. Weird. So my point is that culture is the proverbial thug who breaks your limbs and gives you a crutch. Culture doesn't fulfill values, it creates the need to fulfill values, and it subverts the natural process by which you would fulfill those values. That's why I use the disease metaphor, culture. I know it's needlessly inflammatory, but I think it's kind of an accurate description, even if you aren't paying attention to those cute little comparisons, like how language is like the wheezing of someone with tuberculosis, and all those little things. Language, I mean, culture doesn't solve anything, it latches onto someone, and it creates the need to solve certain things. So instead of calling culture a disease, I think it would be called man, I'm going to have to cut this out, or whatever. So everything is delusion. What is delusion? Delusion is that which does not correlate with reality, right? Right? Delusion is that which does not correlate with reality. Is delusional to say that this is a water bottle. If I'm holding up a mouth and I mean water bottle, this is not a water bottle. It's delusional. If I think this is, and I'm trying to drink from it, that is delusional. It is not connected up with how things are. Now, if we're talking about things that actually are the case, then that's not delusional. I wouldn't say that everything is delusion, and I don't know really that much about epistemology, but I would say that value exists in the sense that religious dogma exists. It This belief in religion exists, but all its assertions are nothing other than delusions, and in the same way, value exists, but it's a distortion of reality.